Guys, my mother-in-law thinks that she can just throw my stuff outside. Why? Because apparently I have a shameful career. Guys, I'm a bartender. I love my career. I've actually invested so much of my time into this craft. I know everything about it. I'm not going to let my mother-in-law rule me. So I decide to do this. My mother-in-law threw my stuff out into the cold. I'm beyond furious right now. I've just had the biggest fight I've ever had with my mother-in-law. This was my very first time standing up to her, and I feel this should be done sooner. If I'd said something about this sooner, then she would have never had the guts to pull such a stunt. I'm still wondering where she got the guts to do what she did to me. Even my husband's fuming at his mom. This might be it. This might be the straw that breaks that camel's back. From the way that my husband's been speaking, he's so ready to go on, no contact with his mother. It sucks, because now she's going to be a part of our important milestones, and this is, her own fault. I can't wait to see the look on her face when we tell her that we're done with her, and don't want her in our lives anymore. I know that she's going to cry and cry, since my husband's her favorite son. But I don't feel any pity for her. The way she's treated me is very disrespectful. How would you feel if you come home from your honeymoon, just to find all your stuff gone? That is what happened to me last night when my husband and I landed back in the country. When we got home, I noticed that something was wrong with the apartment that we had just moved into a few days ago. When I went to my wardrobe to find something to wear for the night, that's when I noticed that my stuff was gone. I was shocked, thinking that we had just gotten robbed. But then I thought to myself, there's only one plausible explanation, one person with a key to the apartment. I called up my husband, explained the situation, and told him that he needs to ask his mother what she has done. At first, he found it hard to believe that his mom would do it. He said that maybe something has, happened and somebody broke in. How? When the place has the best security you can get. So I went to talk to the superintendent, and all my sleepiness and bliss from the honeymoon, poof, vanished. And all that remained was my anger. I managed to get a hold of the security footage and sat there for an hour looking through it. That's when I saw that my mother-in-law had been at the house the previous day. The footage showed her getting in and out of the house and coming out with black bags, which I assumed contained my clothing. I was mad. And it showed, and my husband, I gave him the proof. I could tell that he was deeply ashamed about his mother's behavior, so I don't say I told you so like I wanted to. I called her. Let it be damned that it was 2 a.m. My father-in-law answers the phone asking if everything's okay. I told him to ask his wife because we saw what she did. He gave her the phone and she answered all nonchalantly, as if she's done nothing. The first thing I said to her was profanity. I probably should not have, but my head was boiling and I wanted to pounce on her. In fact, I wanted to drive to her house in the middle of the night, but my husband stopped me. I asked her why she did what she did. She did not have to deny it because I had the proof, and she told me that she would talk to me tomorrow, and I told her that if she wanted me to come to her house, then she better say so. So then my husband took the phone and spoke to her for a while. Meanwhile, I was pacing, I was seeing red. I kept on eyeing my car keys, but I knew my husband would be on me in a second. He did not want me to drive because I was too tired from the plane ride. After a while, he hung up. He told me that firstly, he's very sorry about how his mom's behaved. What she did was wrong. What she did was a crime. He told me that he's not wanted to tell me what he was about to say because he did not want to hurt me. He told me that his mom was still having a very hard time accepting me. The main thing she did not like was the fact that I was, a bartender. He told me that his mom told him before we got married that I would have to change my career because I was making, and I quote, dirty money. Yeah, I was taken back. This was the first time I knew that she had a problem with my job. It shocked me to the core that she thought my money was dirty when I was making an honest living. I pay taxes. It was not like I was doing anything nefarious to get the money, so what the hell was wrong with her? My husband was very apologetic about it and said that he would replace everything that she threw away. Yeah, you're right. You're darn right you will. Oh, and by the way, she told us that my clothes were in the bin room. When we got there, we could not even tell where my clothes were because every bag looked the same. I was not happy about it at all. I felt as if I'd been dehumanized. I trusted her with our house keys, and she felt that she could touch my things just like that. I could hardly sleep. I only got a couple of hours in. This morning, I decided that I was going to go and see her. I wanted to speak to her face to face and find out what her dealio was. She never mentioned that she had a problem with my career before. I mean, I knew she did not really like me per se, but I thought it's because she was more conservative and I'm more liberal. But then I did not think it would be a problem. Her daughters are more free spirits than I am. They dress just the same way I do, and she's never had a problem with it before. So now, why does she have these double standards all of the sudden? Those are the questions that I have to ask for her. And boy, did she give me answers that had me shook. She had me wishing that I never asked about anything in the first place, and she told me that firstly, I worked in a bar as a woman, surrounded by many lecherous men. She thought she knew that I flirted for tips. How else could I afford to have such a nice car? She also added that she did not like the way that I dressed. It's way too revealing. I said that I got that, and she was allowed to have her dang opinion. I was about to explain to her that she should have come to me when she just interrupted me. She then added that her neighbors were laughing at her because they thought that I was, well, a stripper because I worked at a bar. She said that she could not have me living in their family home like this. She felt that I was, and I quote, a disgrace, and should not be with her son. She also did not fail to add that she told her son all this, and he knows she's not happy with me. She then said that she gave him so many chances to tell me to make a change, but I did not. She then said that, well, what made her even more mad and not want me to live in that flat were those honeymoon pictures. She said she did not like the way that I was posing. What would people say? She said she was shocked that I was there to talk to her and not to tell her that I was leaving. By the way, the apartment that we live in is a gift from my husband's aunt. She gifted it to us when we got engaged, and we moved in not too long after our wedding. My mother-in-law looked me dead in the eye and said I did not deserve to live in that apartment. I was shocked. I couldn't even retaliate, so I just left. I've been depressed and stressed the whole day, and I'm supposed to be in marital bliss right now. Not feeling as if I've ruined everything for my husband. What if the aunt decides to kick us out of the house and sides with my mother-in-law? Update number 1. The past few days have been hell on earth as the saga unfolded. I've decided that I'm going to be disrespected by my mother-in-law. No more! I've allowed people to walk over me for years because they judge me before knowing me. There's no way that I'm going to let this become a regular occurrence. My mother-in-law, well, she was relentless. She decided that since throwing my things out did not faze me, because my husband replaced the clothing, she would start to just badmouth me. However, when she badmouthed me, she added a lot of extra things. She said that she heard things about my workplace, that bartenders dressed in an inappropriate way and had very, very inappropriate relationships with the customers. Well, those rumors started to spread like wildfire, and unfortunately for me, they got to my manager. My manager is a nice person, very nice, but she cares about the reputation of the bar. She told me that I needed to sort the issue with my mother-in-law out. She could not have me working in the bar if my family was going to be bad-mouthing me. It would not be good for her or for me. When I got home, I was crying because I was feeling overwhelmed by everything that was occurring. Even my coworkers were giving me funny looks because the way that people were talking about the bar. I told my hubby that I was thinking of just quitting. He told me that I did not have to quit something that I liked so much. His mother had no idea how hard I actually worked. Since her son has a higher paying job than me, she sees me as just trash that does not belong with her boy. My husband said that he would not be having that. Later that week, my mother-in-law was served with a cease and desist letter. She was barred from talking about the bar or about me. If it was found out that she was mentioning my name or the company, she would get sued. Defamation. My husband then told me that he spoke to his aunt and clarified the issue. She said that she does not normally get involved in family drama. She said that as long as I was making an honest living and treating her nephew well, she's okay. It was a relief to finally put the matter to rest. I've been waiting so long to do that. I'll update you guys again. Update number 2. You're not going to believe what just happened. I should not be happy about this, but I feel a great sense of justice has been done. For you know that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. I just did not know that this would happen so soon. But oh man, she deserved it, because she has a very big problem with anything and everything, and now she's in the hospital. My mother-in-law has done it again. She's attacked a person who cannot defend himself or is too nice. But this time she got what was coming. So, we've been on okay terms. I don't like her and she does not like me. We are at family gatherings though, and I just stay far away from her as far as I can. I only tolerate her because my husband, well, who is such a forgiving person. So 2 nights ago, there was a family barbecue. We were celebrating one of the nieces graduating, and we had the party at my husband's other aunt's house, right? His aunt is not as well off as his parents are, and his mother always makes comments about her. Whenever she's around, his mother is just always trying to prove that she's better. The aunt, who is called Sophie, is very humble and nice and never retaliates when my monster-in-law makes those comments. We were at the event, and Sophie, she made some delicate, delicious food, and we did enjoy ourselves. That's when I noticed that people were whispering like something was wrong. So then I decided to try to find out what's happening. That was when I was told that my mother-in-law was going off on Sophie, accusing her of stealing the recipe. The whole evening, she had been telling people not to eat Sophie's salad. So now there's just a bunch of salad that's completely uneaten. Some people listened and others didn't because, well, they were used to my mother-in-law's antics. I found Sophie's daughter and asked her where her mother was. She told me that her mom was upstairs, so I ran upstairs to Aunt Sophie. I knew she was not feeling that good with people not wanting to eat her salad, so I went to her room, where I knocked. She told me to come inside, but she has been crying, it's evident. I sat with her for a while and listened to her complain about her sister. I told her I understood because she treated me like that too. She then told me that while she did not have much, she went all out for this party and now food was going to go to waste. As we were sitting there, my mother-in-law appeared, and when she saw the two of us, she asked Sophie why she abandoned the party. She was the host. Sophie said that she would be downstairs soon. That's when my mother-in-law told Sophie that she had done her a favor and thrown out the ridiculous imitation salad and made another one. You know, the best one. Sophie was horrified. I could tell this was not what she wanted. I asked my mother-in-law if she had not done enough, and poor Sophie was on the verge of tears. She said that she was doing Sophie a favor since the food lacked flavor. Sophie then said that she did not need help. It was her party for her daughter, and my mother-in-law then said that it did not matter. She could do so much better than Sophie, who could only hide upstairs, and then she laughed and left us sitting there. Sophie broke down in tears. She was crying for about 5 minutes. I have no idea how I was going to comfort her. That's when I heard a shrill scream close to us. The both of us ran down the hallway to the staircase, where we found the staircase littered with salad, and my mother-in-law screaming at the bottom of the staircase. Her leg was at this weird angle. According to those who saw, she was on the way upstairs to prove Sophie that her salad was oh so much better. Instead, looks like she lost her footing and tumbled down the stairs because she was going too fast. So now the party's over. We called an ambulance, and she spent the night at the hospital. My husband and I went to see her the next afternoon. She broke her leg and her wrist, so she's not going to be able to do anything now. She's going to be discharged before the end of the week, though, and my husband's been talking to his father, but he does not know when his dad will be coming back. In fact, It's impossible for his father to come back because his dad is in the military, and actually, he left a couple days ago. This is not big enough an emergency for him to get orders to come back, so now it's between my husband and his sisters. Someone has to take her in and take care of her until she recovers, though. So now my husband and his sisters have been arguing back and forth about who's going to take her in. Nobody wants to take her in because she's always nagging. I hope that my husband stands firm and does not allow his sister to push him. I can't imagine living with her. My head might actually explode. Yeah, maybe within a day of staying with her. I spent just an hour with her at the hospital and I felt tired, like I had just done a full shift at work tired. Update number 3. Guys, why is it me? Why do I have such bad luck? I mean, why? Who did I wrong this year? According to me, I've been a good person. But as we know, bad things happen to good people, and this is one of those cases. My mother-in-law's moving in with me and my husband. We had no choice, trust me. We tried to fight it. However, we had no choice but to take her in. We could not let her stay at that house alone. Personally, I would have preferred it, but because no one can do any good in her eyes except for, of course, herself. I'm sure that she would if she could clone herself and live with herself. So now I've been stuck living with her for the past week, and I'm at the wit's end with her. She's annoying, and I don't have the energy. It's a busy time of the year as it is the end of the quarter 4. Work has been busier than usual, and whenever there have been extra shifts, I take them. This means that the money I'm getting is good. I do not plan on being a bartender forever, you know, but considering fate's hand, I'll be doing this for a while as I need to save money. Once I have enough money, I'm going to open my own cocktail bar. I love making cocktails and tend to make them whenever I have free time. I have some close friends who ask me to make them all the time, and I always make them for them. Last night, I had a couple of friends actually come over and join me. My mother-in-law had just come from a checkup, and she said that she would be sleeping all day. I decided to still host my friends, but said that they had to be a bit quieter, as my mother-in-law's asleep. Later on, my husband joined us and we all had a great time. As we did not want to make noise for my mother-in-law, we headed out to the patio. We were sitting there and some of my friends left after a while. It was just me, my husband, and my best friend. My best friend said that she needs to use the bathroom and she would be in the back, you know. So, leaving my husband and I at the patio, and when she came back, she looked absolutely sick to her stomach. I asked her, well, what's going on? And she told me that the toilet was clogged. So, my husband went to check it, and he came back with the same expression on his face as my friend had. I was about to ask him, well, what's going on? But he turned his head to the guest room, and I heard a lot of shouting but could not make out the words. And then he came back and said that he was going to fix the bathroom and we could continue. My friend said that she had to work tomorrow, so she left in a hurry. I went to my room where I got dressed in my nightgown and went to bed. He joined me straight after, but I was already too sleepy to ask him what the heck was going on. The next morning, I woke up and he was gone. I decided to sleep in a bit since, you know, it's my day off. But then I was woken up by my mother-in-law. She told me that it's no time to be sleeping. I need to clean the house. I told her to leave me alone. I would do it later. And then she told me that she needs money. I asked, why do you need money? She told me that it's none of my beeswax. She said that as an elder. I can't question her. I then asked her, okay, how much money do you need? She said, $2,000. I was aroused from my sleep by the amount that she demanded, and I asked her if she thought I was a millionaire. She then said that she knew I was making lots of tips, and she needed money to buy some fancy leg massager. I told her that she did not need it because she already had physio. She laughed and said that I had money to buy stuff for cocktails, but no money to help her out, and she left. Well, I slept a bit more, and then I woke up. I saw something. I saw that some money had just been deposited into my account. It was from my husband. with a note that I should use it to replace all ingredients for the cocktails. I opened my text messages and saw that in the morning he sent me a text. He told me that his mother had dumped all the liquor and cordial down the drain. She had raided my supply and absolutely thrown out everything. He said her reasoning was that I was turning the house into a bar, and we were being too loud. Imagine, guys, she has the nerve to say that we're too loud in our own damn house. I've decided to keep quiet about it. I'm done arguing with her, and I have no energy. Update number 4. My husband's just come back from work, and dang, I did not expect him to do what he did. As soon as he entered the door, he looked at his mother and told her that he's had enough of her. He told her that he spent all day busy because of her. He asked her why she could not live with other people. Why did she have to be such a pain? She yells at him, telling him that I clearly used a love potion on him because he's such a weak man. He asked what gave her the right to throw out my things. Bartending was literally my craft and what I loved, and he would not let her interfere with it. I added that even though she threw my stuff away, she was not hesitant to ask for money to buy a massager. She gave me a very dirty look and said she knew I would be a snitch. She spoke to her son and said that he should not believe anything that I've said. My husband rolls his eyes and told her that the argument was not making sense. Nobody's speaking about her. She was the one showing that she was ungrateful. He also told her that I've been kind enough to take her in when I did not have to, and I said that she's been acting entitled to my money, even though she once called it dirty money. And if she really thought my money was dirty, then she should not be asking for $2,000. Did she think that I would help her with the money that she thought was dirty? Yeah, my husband was shocked to hear this. He looked at his mother for an explanation. She tried to protest, but she was not making a lick of sense. My husband then said that it's not working, and she said, of course it's not working. How could he be married to a low-class person like me when he was an engineer? The delusion in that woman is strong. He laughed and said that living with me was not a problem. It was her that had a problem. She then starts to cry, saying that she was his mother and only wanted what was absolute best for him. He told her to wipe those crocodile tears because they would not save her now. He said that she was staying with us only because of my kindness, and he added that her own daughter did not want to stay with her because of the way that she meddled in their lives. She even bullied her own sister. When would she ever stop? She put her chin up in the air and said that she knew best. She was his mother. He then said that enough was enough. He's tired of making me cry, and then he left. I called after him, but he did not come back, and by the time I went downstairs, he drove off. So I was left with my mother-in-law, who did not see fault in what she just did. Instead, she continued to taunt me about everything and anything that had to do with me, and after a while, she finally stopped yapping. The best part was when she realized that she would need help to perform a task, since her leg and wrist were still not functioning great. She shouted at me to help her like I was some sort of servant. I would never have it, so I just sat there staring at her. She continues to shout at me and told me that I had to help her out, and I looked at her like I didn't even see her. She gets loud at this point, and I'm talking annoying. I then looked at her and told her that today was her very last day in this household. Then I marched up to my room. I found out that my husband actually texted me, and he said that he had just needed some space and he would be back soon. So right now I'm waiting for him to return, and I hope that he's calmed down. His mother can be such a headache, and it's only been 7 days, guys. If we stay with her for much longer, I fear that we're going to absolutely lose our sanity. Update number 5. You can push a person for only so long before they just snap. That's what happened to my husband. He came back early the next morning, and I heard that he was back because of the commotion. When I went downstairs, I saw him, a woman and a man. He told me to go to his mother's room and pack her bags for her. She's leaving. When he uttered those words, I admit that my heart did a little dance. Damn. Finally, she was going to leave. While she starts to protest, there was nothing she could do. She was being taken to an old age home, and my husband had with him a document that he and all his siblings had signed stating that they could not take care of his mom. She was screaming, saying that her husband would never allow this, and my husband then told her that he had been suggesting it to my husband for over a year. But my husband thought it would have been cruel. He just thought his dad was getting annoyed with his wife and simply needed a break. But when he saw that, the way she continued to disrespect me, he realized that an old dog never learns a new trick. She got his siblings together, explained the situation at hand, and they all came to a solution. She was taken away, sent to an old age home on the outskirts of town. We've not gone to see her ever since, and you know what? We don't plan to. My husband's not said much, but I've noticed that he has washed his hands of her. When there's a call from her, well, he tells me to tell them that he's not home. When I've spoken to her, she's expressed that she's sorry for everything that she's done. I don't think she is. Well, she's just sorry because her actions have consequences, and she's one of those people who think that just because they're older, they can boss people around. Life has improved greatly for everyone ever since she left, and at family gatherings, there are fewer arguments and fewer people are sad. It's like a great weight has been lifted off our shoulders. I don't feel sorry for her. Her actions led her there, and other better news, I have enough money to start my cocktail bar in the new year. I also managed to get my boss to invest in the business. She's very supportive of what I'm trying to do, and she has known about my plan for a very long time. I'm going to send a picture of my bar once I get started to my mother-in-law. She claimed that I was below her and wasting my life being a bartender, but she had no idea. I have big plans. Yeah, sure, I'm not like her children who all went to college and have these fancy jobs, but that doesn't mean that I deserve any less respect. People like her who judge without knowing someone are the worst people to have around. They bring about negative energy and prevent you from really achieving your goals. Good thing my husband and I kicked her to the curb when she was starting to get too much of a big head. This should be a lesson to anyone that respect is earned. It's never given. So, I just want to know your opinion on this story. I was a little surprised because there were quite a few comments from the updates in the original post that was saying OP simply went too far by sending the mother-in-law to the old age home. I want to know your thoughts about that. I can also see a lot of the commenters saying how they just totally agree it was a good idea. So it wasn't completely on the mother-in-law side in the comment section. It was a good battle, maybe 50-50. Anyways, I want to know your thoughts on it. Do you think OP went too far? The fact that nobody from the family goes and visits the mother-in-law anymore? That is why a lot of people were sad. Anyways, I want to know your thoughts. My name's Mr. Reddito, and if you guys want these daily videos, all you gotta do is subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow, but please do remember, it's cool to be kind. See ya.